What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Happy Friday, everybody. Y'all have been absolutely blowing up the channel with support lately, so thank you guys so much for that. It means the world to me. Now, into today's video, I want to talk about something that I haven't seen thrown around the community too much with guides on this little bad boy, and we are talking about the little Qualichor, however you say it, that little consumable in our inventory that we use on the throne world with Fynch and those executioner hordes and those executioner chests. So if you have no idea what I'm talking about, do not worry, because we will be covering everything that I have learned about these, and hopefully it helps you guys out know what these little Qualichors are for. Now, this right here is a refined Qualichor that I have inside of my inventory right now. It looks basically the same as the normal Qualichor. You just need 8 of the normal ones to actually refine it into this one that I have in my inventory, which is what we use the refined Qualichors for, is a secret triumph within Savathun's throne world for the Executioner's Horde chest. You have to collect 8 of those normal ones and refine it at Fynch to get a refined Qualichor, and then you deal with a little public event with some Lucent Hive, open up a secret chest using this, you will get some extra throne world loot, and then also that secret triumph for the Executioner's Horde for the Savathun's throne world. So it's a nice little triumph for that triumph score. Now, to go over first off where we actually get these Qualichors. Now, they come from a few different ways. One of the ways that we can obtain them is in each of our main areas within the throne world. So Quagmire, Miasma, and Florescent Canal. Each day it'll rotate, and you can do it once per character in one of these zones. You will see a Scorn that is on the ground as a dead Scorn corpse chieftain usually that you can scan. Now, like I said, this will be in either the Quagmire, the Miasma, or the Florescent Canal in a certain day, and then it rotates every day at reset, and you can only do that once per day per account. So to get 8 of these, technically it would take you 8 days to get enough of the normal Qualichors to refine it into one of those refined ones. Now, covering actually how you use these Scorn corpses to follow and find our Qualichors. So in each area you will find that corpse of the Scorn that you can scan. Once you investigate the Scorn corpse, you will see a nice green glow on the ground, that like green glue that we have seen before. You follow this green glow on the ground for a certain distance, and it'll actually activate some deep sight near you, and you will have to find some scan debris. Once you find that debris that is close to where you scanned the actual corpse, the green goo on the ground will continue for a good distance in a certain area, depending on if you're in the Miasma, Florescent Canal, or Quagmire. And then you just follow this green goo, continue it for a good little bit until you actually run into an enemy. Now, this enemy will be glowing and be one of those Lucent Hive, where you will have to defeat this Lucent Hive, and it'll drop an extra chest for you after you defeat them, and it'll actually give you one of those Qualichor items. So that is the basics of the first way to obtain this in one of our 3 zones. First off, you find that Scorn corpse on the ground, interact with it, it'll lead you via that green goo on the ground to some investigating debris, where you investigate the debris. Then after you investigate the debris, you keep on that green goo track, keep following it until you find the Lucent Hive at the end of that green track. Defeat the Lucent Hive, crush that ghost, and you will get that chest, which drops you a normal Qualichor item. And like I said, this is once per day, and it'll rotate between our 3 main areas within the throne world. Now, in the background gameplay, you have seen some of the areas that we go to with finding the Scorn and then following it around. So I'm going to show you the other places that we can go with the Miasma, Florescent Canal, and Quagmire. It should be a pretty quick area. You just got to find where that Lucent Hive is, and then you can follow it around. So these are pretty easy paths once you know where they spawn. Now that we have covered those 3 different paths with those Scorn corpses and the green goo following it around to the Lucent hives, we have a little easier way that does spawn more often within the throne world. Now this is a little patrol public event, if you will, within the throne world that spawns about every half hour in some different areas. This is when you see at your bottom left hand corner Lucent hive inquisitors in your sector. A high value target is nearby. This just means that there is those enemies moving against each other basically in your area with a bunch of those Lucent hive inquisitors as well. Now this is super important because this is actually where you spend that refined Qualichor for, and because these can spawn, like I said, about every half hour in various spots around the map. They can spawn in Quagmire, Miasma, and Florescent Canal, but they are continuously going on and happening, so you don't have to wait daily for these. Now, once you defeat this little public event, like I said, this is where you can spend that refined Qualichor, or it'll just give you a normal one if you have not already used that refined Qualichor. Now, the way that this little public event happens, it's just basically waves of Lucent hives, and you have to deal with those hives. There will be a couple commanders, and then inquisitors, and then at the very end, there will be 3 light bearers. You got your typical, you got your blade barrage, you got your shield bash, and then you also have your witch doing whatever she may be doing, throwing nova bombs or something like that at you. So you have your 3 different light bearers that you got to deal with, but in all seriousness, it's a pretty easy little public event, whatever you would call it, patrol that happens. You can see it in the background gameplay here. And once you defeat all 3 waves of those enemies, that last little chest will drop. Like I said, it gives you a Qualichor if you don't have them already, which you can use over and over again as they keep spawning around the map. So you can technically wait your couple hours and keep farming these little hive inquisitors pushing on each other. And then you can get your 8 Qualichors that you need to refine them at Fynch for that refined Qualichor, which you spend at the end of this actual public event right here that I'm talking about with the Lucent hive inquisitors. Once you defeat those 3 waves and that chest spawns for defeating them, there will also be a little deep sight bubble next to it. That's where you activate that deep sight, and it'll take you to the secret chest where you spend your refined Qualichor and you actually complete that little secret triumph. Now, I know that this was a lot for what this just little bit of actual gameplay and what you rewarded for doing this, but for my completionists out there, it is nice to get that extra little bit of throne world loot, and it's nice to get all of our secret triumphs done for the throne world so we don't have to come back in later years, later seasons, just to get it done for whatever it may be, a quest, a seal, anything like that. So hopefully this helped you guys out, get that nice Executioner's Horde triumph done, and figure out what these little Qualichors are for. So thank you guys so much again. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.